All right, now it says that I'm live again. Now we need to get everybody back on over here. Now, this is be annoying, but this is how you'll know. This is how you'll know that you're at the right place. If you see me with a candle, that's how you know you made it to the right place. So here we go. I got this candle right here. I'm trying to get everybody over. Refresh your screens. There's no real way of knowing that you're hearing me because I am broadcasting this by myself. Basically, this is something new and exciting, and there's really no way to tell if I'm glitchy.
You're good.
If so, on the new one, I'm good. So basically, what we're gonna do is just get everybody over here.
I'm the only one here, though. But
all right, we're coming. Let's see here. So refresh your screens.
When you get back.
The new stream is called "Fuck Me in a Bucket of Goo." That's going on there.
In the other chat, Crenshaw wanted to know your top 5 live concerts.
Yeah, well, we're not going back in the other chat. What does he say? Just wait. That wife, just wait until we get everybody here.
Oh, you made it.
All right, so now let's see. We got Amy G in the house. This is fantastic. The yogurt. Wow, that smells fucking good. Yeah, this will probably really help this stream be choppy. All right, let's see. We just sit here and wait for Crenshaw and company. Crenshaw, Richter, get on everybody over there. You know what I'll do? I will text Crenshaw. He's probably on my phone. All right, let's see here. Crenshaw, new stream entitled "Fuck Me in a Bucket of Goo." There it is. So there's the new one. All right, so we've got Amy G in the house. We got my wife who's actually in the house. So now we're getting there. We need to get Clee's sister over here. Crenshaw texted me. Yet still looping. Hell's time to reboot. Lost you early night. I don't really know what that means. That could be code for Crenshaw has to go to bed. Lost you because it's an early night. I'm not 100% sure there. Let's see if we can get everybody else over here. All right, there's nothing like live streaming and just kind of waiting for people to get off the other live stream. And we'll do this. And I have to actually change that thing to say starting soon again, and possibly starting soon again after that. So those are a couple of things there. Now, while this is happening here, I'm going to sneak behind this. All right, so now we're back to live scene. We can't go without Richter. Crenshaw, I'm not sure if he's coming along or not.
Crenshaw's here.
Crenshaw's here. So we're all back. Good news. I don't know if we're choppy or not. Good news, bad news scenario, depending on how you look at it. All the donations that came in on the first failed one, I don't really see those now. So I feel like they need to be redone. It's not just a mental problem on my own. So now we're we got to get Richter in this chat, because without Richter, this story abusing him for me getting lost in the scary hotel district is just not really a thing. So we got Terry's back. This is like, I feel like Murray, Flight of the Conchord, band meeting, which I want to talk about him later on because he's in a fucking pirate show. Crenshaw, our what is it? Oh my God, this is the greatest thing. Let's get caught up here while all this shit's happening. Let's see. That show is called, I know I got notes here somewhere. let's see. One Flag Means Death. It's on HBO Max. It's got really funny people in it. It's uh, the guy who plays Murray, Flight of the Conchords. He's a pirate with manners. That's basically what's going to happen. It's so much fun. Uh, so now try to get back on track here. Okay, so when you're leaving the Lincoln Tunnel and you have to turn on a scary road that you're not used to because of the detour, you got like fucking 3 seconds to figure it out, and I missed it. And then we started weaving down around. There's really big fucking scary roads, and they're not marked well. And I'm start screaming and panicking, and then my poor wife is looking at this thing, and it says, uh, continue and turn left on McFliss de Floss de Fleiss de Floos de Flosstick Road. And that's too fucking long. And then I'm gonna get confused, and then I'm fucking past it. And then we gotta route the directions, and that whole hell and horror continues. And if you're down under, I call it Bayonne. The running joke for us was we don't want to get lost on the way to or from New York because we don't want to go to Hoboken. That's the joke, right? So we were actually fucking stuck in this scary hotel district, and I'm screaming and going fucking nuts. And then afterwards, when we finally got sort of where we were going, we took a deep breath, and then I told my wife, I said, don't rest yet because we're not safe yet. We're still in unfamiliar territory. And this has happened to me before. I'm a big fan of if shit's going to go wrong, it should happen on the way home from the show. Because on the way to it, you'll be fuck you in a bucket of goo. And that's another nightmare. And especially coming off 78 around the Newark airport, my daughter and I took her friend and father up. And they never went before, and they were losing their fucking minds. And we got into one of these things where we were fucked. And I knew that if I went into the airport, there'd be signs for 78. So I'm fucking locked and going on this airport. And the new people, the friend and the dad of the friend are screaming, no, don't go to the airport. Because why the fuck would you go to an airport? And my daughter, Lizzie, screams, she's there. Quiet, but politely. Go to the airport. Great idea. So on this new fun escape route here, there was no fucking going to the airport. There was none. So we had to wing it. We had like 5 fucking tries at it. And like I say, the nostalgia of going that way was fun until that was gone. And then there's like just roads this way and that. And it's a little bit far away from this neighborhood. But another time this had happened to us, we pulled in to a convenience store and walked over to a cop to say, I know I seem drunk, but I'm just completely disoriented in this neighborhood. Can you help me get back to Route 78? And the cop said, the Newark cop said, want to return to your car as quickly as possible, lock the doors, and get out of here. A fucking cop told me to get in the car and get the fuck out of there. He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong about that. So I'm going to try this bourbon now. I think we're all here. We're not choppy. I don't know what the fuck happened. This is going to kick the fucking shit out of my views. Like, because I'll have to combine all the views of the thing. And also, should be able to link this as like a 2-part thing. Now, while I was still in panic mode on unstucking this stream, my lovely wife said Crenshaw had a question. And now, I'm ready for the question. Oh.
Cheers.
That's not a question, though. The Crenshaw question.
I know.
I'd like to know what it is.
Oh.
I just said...
Your top 5 concerts, live concerts.
Right, because it's my top 5 live concerts. Because I'm not in the other chat. The Sparks that we just saw, fucking right up there. That's tough to get something that zooms to the top. One of the criteria for it, not just because we connect to this thing on a personal level with these guys, is that they can play their songs live. And not everybody can. The worst live band in the history of all live bands was Led Zeppelin. There is a band who never should have toured. They can't fucking sing live. They can't, whatever they do in the studio doesn't work when they got their bourbon balls going. Sparks can play their fucking songs tight and fast and fucking outstanding. That's way up there. Number 2 would definitely be Iggy Pop, Josh Homme, post-pop depression tour. Number 3, we travel back in time with my lovely wife back to when we were introducing each other to Sparks and all kinds of others. Iggy Pop, The Idiot, at the Tower in Philly. David Bowie sat in on piano in the dark and just took a humble introduction, and also on piano and vocal, David Bowie. That was fucking phenomenal. That's 1, 2, 3 right there. 4 and 5, I will definitely have to think about it. There's because it's a. I mean, if we're counting like Broadway and concerts and all that stuff, that's a big 4 and 5. But that's my list right there. I'll have to think about that. I'm going back to my notes. I didn't actually taste this, but man, that fucking smells good.
No Broadway, he said.
I'm going to end the stream early because I just want to be alone with this. No Broadway. Okay. All right. So that means not Broadway. Philip Glass. Einstein on the Beach. Also would be considered a concert. Philip Glass Ensemble. Live on stage. Playing to the Koyaanisqatsi film, of which there's a soundtrack. That's fucking phenomenal. Those are way up there. Live concerts beyond that. Modern times, I don't know where I'd score them, but the Decemberists were really fucking amazing. They're screaming to be on Broadway. Also, Crenshaw, if you don't want to hear Broadway stories, you should never say no Broadway. Big mistake. Your fault. Ron Mayle of Sparks is a brilliant writer. His music screams to be a musical. I said to my wife before we went up, I said, well, they're in New York. There's no possible way they don't network with someone to do music theater piece up there. Pow. Excuse me. They announced it. They're going to be doing it. And when you say no theater, Crenshaw, also, how about off-Broadway David Bowie's Lazarus, starring Dexter? Huh? It was fucking creepy as all fuck. Not really Broadway, not really a concert, music of David Bowie, excuse me, mixed singles. Signals. That's water. And possibly in the solid 5 would also be time traveling back to David Bowie live in Philly. That's recorded. The album is called Stage. He went nuts. Bowie did like almost seemingly musical career changes without telling his fans. And he hooked up, thank you, lovely wife. But now if I have a cough drop, I'm going to have a talk like this. Well, hopefully that's going to be. So David Bowie got to be friends with Brian Eno. Brian Eno left Roxy Music because he didn't want to do glam rock and he'd make fucking crazy music. And he made a lot of spacey music. They were really good friends. Bowie and Iggy Pop were soulmates. Bowie talked to Eno and they worked on some albums together, Low and Heroes. And before they did that, Bowie said, Brian Eno, how can you have like a rock piece like Baby's on Fire and the next song is like all spacey and weighty and heavy? How can you do that? I'd really love to do that. And Eno goes, I'm fucking nobody compared to you. You're David fucking Bowie. You do whatever the fuck you want. And the records producers and the companies will do what you say. you're David fucking Bowie, in case you forgot. So Bowie comes out with Low, and he still couldn't commit to it. There was like rock on one side and all the space hippie shit on the other side. Warzawa. Everybody's got to put into YouTube sometime. Brian Eno, Warzawa, Bowie. It's a cartoon. That's what it is, and it's a goof on the whole thing. Warzawa is a mind fuck. It's an acid trip. It's so calming. It's relaxing. It's very not Bowie. It's very Pink Floyd in its demeanor. David Bowie started his show in Philly. He walked out cold with the house lights on in a fucking green leisure suit. Didn't say anything to anybody and just started the opening sounds to Warzawa, which are boom, boom. That's fucking as much of a rock star as you can be. No opening act, no introduction. Bowie's going like, yeah, Brian Eno said, I'm fucking David Bowie. Everybody will know I'm David Bowie. What are they going to say? And now here comes David Bowie. Fuck it. I'll just go out. And then when people see that it's David Bowie, they'll go, oh, there's David Bowie. And they'll shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, but all my stories lead to other stories because my other dear friend, Frank, who's sometimes in and out of the chat here, was at that concert with us. We had good see-through on the floor. We're actually, if you listen to Bowie stage, it's live in Philly, you can hear audience. That's my wife and I and my friend Frank. So somebody sat on a chair in front of us. They stood on their chair, and I couldn't see him. We're fucking fifth row for fucking David Bowie. And Frank goes, can you see? I'm there, no. And he took the chair, and she fucking flew, and that was it. And now I could see. And then he said, can you see now? I'm there, yes, thank you. So those are really the top five. It's really concentrated as far as Bowie, Iggy Pop. This is crazy shit. I've seen Frank Zappa. I saw Captain Beefheart in a fucking cafe in Philly. And I sat, and my wife, and we sat from here to fucking Captain Beefheart was right there. And my mind is fucking blown. And he brought his brilliant artist, Captain Beefheart, and the show was phenomenal. He showed his paintings to us. He just fucking brought them out in a bar room. And I said, hey, pass them around. And he goes, yeah, shit. Captain Beefheart said, yeah, shit to me when I suggested we pass his things around. Now, and that also, cafe, I don't know how they did it. Everybody's got a hard on for King Crimson because Robert Fripp's touring with King Crimson, but he's in the stars and you're in the seat. Saw Robert Fripp in that same place down there, and he had the personality of a bag of hammers. He came out and sat on a stool. They are taking no requests this evening. Thank you. And he just fucking played. He did. So fuck me. So back to whatever the fuck I was talking about, getting lost, coming home from Sparks.
You talked to Zappa, didn't you?
I talked to Captain Beefheart. I talked to Frank Zappa. I talked to Philip Glass. I would try to talk to... Oh, I know. Here's my good Frank Zappa story. Okay, Frank Zappa, Kutztown. I knew some goons that were running it, college kids and all that shit, and they knew him. Zappa was like my... Oh. So they just got me right, like fucking right before. I mean, the lights went down, and they came in and they got me, and they said, you got like 38 seconds to meet Frank Zappa. He's okay with it. He's in a fucking hallway. Don't be a dick. So Frank Zappa says hello to me without fucking looking at me because he understands that assholes brought me in, and he thanked me for coming to the concert already. Thanks for coming to the concert. He goes, and if you excuse me, I'm actually working now. So Frank Zappa, while he was talking to me, was lighting cigarettes and then sticking them in his guitar until he had managed to get a whole pack of cigarettes lit and burning on his guitar. And then he looked at me, and I didn't even fucking say anything. I got to see him do this. And I thought, I don't really care why he's doing it. It's pretty fucking cool. I got to see Frank Zappa light a whole fucking pack of cigarettes and stick them in his fucking guitar and then say, excuse me, I got to go to work now. And he went out, and his first thing he said was, the fire marshals have asked me to ask all of you not to smoke with a whole fucking pack of lit cigarettes on his guitar. That's badass. That's a fucking great rock star moment there. This is going to be, when you consider all the glitches and hiccups in this thing, and this is like our third stream now in black and white. I almost actually, that's how fucking dumb I am. I almost actually took the black and white filter off, thinking that would affect the stream. And it might have, I don't really know. But this stream could be like 9 fucking hours long because I am off my game right now, big time. Which brings me back to Sparks. So impressed. And they made no secret about saying, we're, 73 and we don't want to die and we want to do this concert, we want to tour. We're asking people to mask up and be vaxxed. Thank you. Then your fans, their fans really stepped up and did it. The whole thing was seamless. And then my wife and I just on Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day it was, we got, this is why we're off. And my wife goes, you can get your second booster now anytime if you're over 50 and nobody's really doing it. So if we definitely want to get them, that's how we think here. So, and I'm like, fuck yeah. So I just made an appointment before the sentence was finished. And my wife is like, well, I didn't think you were going to make them now. So then she made one right away too. And then I was told by doctors on TikTok, if you crisscross, if you had Moderna, go Pfizer. If you had Pfizer, go Moderna. Then you get all the things. They didn't want to do it, but I talked them into it. And so my wife and I had a second booster vax date, which I then tweeted to my fan pages. And of course, the anti-vaxxers had to fucking troll. I just got my second booster, and then somebody posted, why? Now, either you're really fucking stupid and you don't understand why anybody would get vaccinated, or you are a troll trying to fucking stir up the pot a little bit. And that's what he wanted to do. Troll me and stir up the pot. Because he didn't really give a fuck why we got our second booster shot. Which brings me to the point of all this. Trolls are basically dabbling in things that are none of their fucking business. That's what a troll is. A troll. And well, how do you just pick anti-vaxxing? If you're gonna fucking troll people, troll them on fucking everything. How comes you got pizza? How comes you ate pizza? How comes you named your kid Bill? How comes you have a lawn? How comes you bought a red car? I don't fucking understand. Explain this to me. You're fucking what you are when you're trolling and you're bashing people for vaxxing or masking or slaughtering animals because you're not vegetarian. You are fucking, what you are is you are basically a nosy neighbor in a 60s sitcom who's going over and peeking in the window of Bewitched to see if she's actually doing the fucking dishes with her hands or if she's doing that thing. And then they do it. It's none of your fucking business, It's none of your fucking business. I just posted it because it was sort of part of date week. That's how we roll. And so don't fucking troll. Don't fucking troll. And especially I get the whole anti-vaxxing thing, but if that's your thing, don't try to fucking spin it in to everything. That's what fucking lights my fuse. I had chocolate donuts, and they're like, yeah, but you should never be vaccinated. That's bullshit. Because what the fuck? It's a fucking donut post there. Now I got myself all worked up. Good thing I have my, oh no.
What?
Actually, no problem. I'm going to take this cough drop and put it in this water because I can't taste that really good bourbon with fucking cough drop. That's bad right there. So, okay. And someone said Zappa. Oh, you don't even want to know. Zappa. I saw Zappa. I can't even say it. I saw Zappa more times than I could count. I saw Frank Zappa with Captain Beefheart. And that was actually in Kutztown. Bongo Fury tour. Another great Zappa story here. Here you go. If you're in the Lehigh Valley, you know that one of the finest concert facilities is ag hall over at the Allentown Fairgrounds. It is a giant brick, cement, concrete building, fucking warehouse that they should just hide crack cocaine in. Acoustics suck batshit balls. It was a fucking free for all. And the rock band Focus was supposed to open for Frank Zappa, but they got arrested for drugs. And Frank Zappa just walked out at fucking 8 o'clock again, just like Bowie. And he said the opening act has run into some legal drug problems at the airport. And the promoters of this show asked if we would like to cover their time, of course, for additional money. So we really have nothing prepared. But next month we're going into the studio to record a brand new album. So we'd like to play it for you now if it's okay. Who would have any objection to that? Probably the fucking troll on my Facebook fan page. Frank Zappa asked if it was okay if he fucking practice played a new fucking album that nobody even had yet. So that was fucking badass. That was pretty badass. We can't just talk about concerts all night, can we? Yeah, we probably could. Let's see here. Okay, so. I forgot one. When we were going into the theater, the town hall, New York City, and then, of course, it's security. It's not just anti-vaccine and the masking shit. There's security, and they have that stick that checks to see if you got metal on you and shit. And then I told them I didn't have any metal on me, and I beeped, and they didn't care anyway. And then they were taking the stick and going to go and dig into my wife's bag. And before it got in there, I turned to the guy and I said, I would not put that in there if I were you. That's usually a dangerous thing to say to anybody who's searching you like that. But I said, because you might not come back out. Many of things and people have been lost in my wife's purse. It's like a magic purse. It's like Mary Poppins. It's like Teletubby's purse. She's got fucking star charts in there. There's all kinds of shit in there you wouldn't believe. And he didn't fucking go in there. He was like, okay, I'll take your word for it. So that was fun. That would have been probably better had I told that story way back during the first stream before it failed. And now I lost my notes in the reboot here. So now we're moving on. Rock concerts. That's a good question right there. Let's see here. Got the second booster. Righty go. Oh, here's some fun shit. We're not going political here. I just want to give you a little trivia. My wife is a comedic genius. She just says the observation, and I go, that's really funny. So, if you're an anti-vaxxer, you should consider becoming a vegetarian because the cows you eat are vaxxed. That's fucking amazing. So, Mary is on the wrong sofa right now. I'm going to blow this candle out because that freaks her out. I'll see if we can lure Mary over. I haven't done anything in my show that I was planning on doing. Wouldn't that be fucking weird if I was planning to have the live stream freeze? Because I had a joke about that, right? I had a joke about that. And that story was a guy, a comedian who's famous, right? I can't know what the fuck his name is. His first gig was the Ramones. His friends grabbed him because the Ramones wanted a comedian to open up, and he always wanted to try comedy. He never did it. And so he just got to fucking start comedy on the Ramones thing. And we were doing a stream, and he froze during the best story that any comedian ever had, starting because the Ramones said, we need a comedian, go fuck up there. And he's like, oh, all right. But he was like, so the Ramones were like, I sucked, and I got off stage, and I went over to the Ramones, and that's it. He just fucking froze. He froze. He fucking froze right there. So for a few of my live streams, I was starting to do fake freezes to take breaks so I wouldn't have to think shit up. And I say, so I'm just doing her buggy style in the... I see I get a little break there. But why I stopped doing that is I can't really do anything during that break. I'm kind of like stuck going. If I could pause these and then do this, that would be better. All right, so moving right along here. Thanks everyone for coming to find me eventually here. Little did I know opening this thing up to the public would be more unlisted than I ever had any idea would be unlisted. Oh, it is definitely, Crenshaw is definitely rock concert night. So I have this most amazing paisley coat, which is worthy of me taking the black and white filter off, which now I look like a dick. This thing is kind of like purple and blue, and I'll have to put it on next week when I stream so you can see this thing. This paisley coat turns heads, and it's my concert jacket. And people comment on it in New York. That's a pretty amazing thing that a jacket is noticed in New York. And Sparks, everybody had weird coats on, and they were like, "Oh my God, that jacket's amazing." This is before the show, and people had feathers on and all kinds of shit. And then somebody was deciding whose jacket was gonna win. I don't know. I didn't even know mine was entered. So they're like, "Oh, that jacket definitely beats yours," and I'm there. Yeah. Well, my jacket saw Iggy Pop, and then the person with the other jacket that won said, "Yeah, his jacket definitely wins." So people have tried to buy this thing from me. This jacket was $249 at Steinmart, and they clearance everything at like half to make you think it's a bargain. So it started at $125, and then it was marked down 75% from its already clearance price, which brought my $249 head turning people. I actually let somebody wear that. I'll never fucking do that again. People wanted to buy this thing. Brought the price down to $19.95. Had I known, I would have fucking bought 3 of them, but they didn't have any more in my size. So that's a head turning paisley jacket. That'll look much better when I flip this thing, get the black filter off. We're still trying to get Mary over here. I don't have any luring snacks. Let's see. You, Mary, you know, the reason I came over here was so that you would come and sit with me. And now you're over there. Maybe you can get me a treat. Mm-hmm. And one for Mary. I'd like a donut and a cat treat. Okay, so back to my notes. We're trying to lure Mary into this thing. Mary's doing so good. She's happy and healthy and fun and likes scaring the shit out of me. There's my screaming directions. Yeah, I got a lot of shit to talk about yet. So if you have anything to do, or you got to go anywhere, just fucking go. Because I'm really behind on my notes. And now we're going to see if we can get Mary on my lap. As a diversion. And everybody's doing it now. You know that's true. If you're on TikTok or wherever you go, you can't get any views unless you have a cat. So a lot of people now are streaming the live stream shows. There's a cat accidentally just walking around. They think it's just like a homey family thing, but the reality is that's a fucking thing that's done on purpose to get more views. Now, okay, so here we go. My wife's coming in with these cat treats. And now, I promise you this. This will get her in here. And now, of course, it won't. Here we go. Here comes the food goblin. Look out. See, if I wasn't live streaming, she'd be all over this fucking chair all night long. You know, we are live, Mary, unless you would like me to shut this stream down and start a 4th one with the sepia thing. I don't know where the fuck she is. All right, so that came to a screeching halt. I'll just eat these cat treats by myself. So now back to my notes, since Cat dicked me here. That's where again, you gotta really miss Sparky. Flying in, she fucking loves streaming. Mary's like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck. See, the problem is this. I always sit over there. And that's where Mary expects me to be. I'm not saying she's stupid. I'm just saying she's looking for me where I should be, not where I am. These papers are confusing to her, but she is locked on the treats. Come on up. See, all the cute faces you're making now are wasted because the people cannot see them. Ah, there you go. And that is Mary's actual signature move to get her up here and show her ass. Now, she just ran right off because she knew I was going to insult her. I believe Sparky's flying around and spooking her because I have treats. And she jumped up and she showed her ass, and then she ran off. These are cat treats. I see that is the problem because you don't want cat treats. No, you want people food. I'll do a commercial. Is your cat sick of cat treats? Try cheap Cheese Whiz in a can, because that's the shit cats love. People food. Now she's gone again. Never mind that. This idea of I can't possibly chase Mary around in the house. I actually could. So when I say that, I was actually lying. It's amazing we have any viewership at all. This is the kind of shit where people were thinking of subscribing to my Patreon. They're like, I don't fucking get it. Actually, I don't get it either. So how about that? So, all right, there's my note. That's one sheet. I think we covered that. Mary doesn't understand all this commotion and this excitement. Back to my TV picks. Okay, so here we go. HBO Max. Oh, this goes back to my iPhone upgrade. I was going to lose my HBO Max because I get it free with my phone. And they said it'll be cheaper, but you lose your HBO Max. That sounds like a shitty deal, but you could add HBO Max to the cheaper $70 more thing for another $20. So again, I had to go, you would like me to pay $20 more for a better plan to get HBO Max, which I already have. Fucking silence. But there's some crazy shit on there. One flag means death. That's the Flight of Concord guy. That's amazing. I didn't watch it recently, but they just, the thing where they go, just added rubber. Crenshaw, I'm talking to you, rubber. It's a horror movie about a tire that rolls after you. It's not even like Duel or fucking Truck or a car, like whatever the crazy car thing was that came after you. Tire. It's called Rubber, and there's a tire, and it just fucking rolls after you. So we'll be watching that again. I can't really recommend that. I'm just saying, I noticed it, I saw it, that's amazing. Now, here we go, moving on. Recently added, 10, Bo Derek, 1979. Recently added. And then Bo Derek is in the thumbnail. Here is what is significant about the movie 10. My lovely wife and I were just merely dating. Her mother, Joyce, who I get to be such good friends with, insisted that I take her daughter to the Emmaus movies to see the movie 10. That is validation from a mother-in-law. When you sanction and bankroll me taking your daughter to see Bo Derek have sex on the beach, that's validation. So I've put that in our to watch thing as a kind of romantic gesture, whether we watch it or whether we don't watch it. And then I was actually trying to read the synopsis a little bit. So Bo Derek in this movie is about 23 years old in the movie, and that was about her actual age. She's married in the movie to an actor who's also about 23 years old. But the movie is basically about Dudley Moore, who is married to the the fuck is her name? She's in The Sound of Music.
Mary.
Not Mary Poppins. Uh, Julie Andrews plays Dudley Moore's wife in the movie 10, and they're about in their mid to late 40s. And Dudley Moore gets the hots for 23-year-old Bo Derek. So as I found this out now, I'm wondering if your mother wasn't validating our relationship so much as giving me a warning that if you last with my daughter till you hit your mid to late 40s and you start creeping around 23-year-old blondes on the beach, that's creepy as all fuck. Don't fucking do it. Don't be a fucking Dudley Moore. So it could have been like a warning. But so that's available for streaming. That's amazing. We do something else. We like scary shit and we watch it. And then we both get bored with it. And I don't know if you do this when you watch things. We threaten it as the story unfolds. If this is just some person is fucking nuts in a mental institution, I'm gonna fucking chop my own fucking TV up. So we were watching something that was gonna be that. I think I wrote the name down here. It is called The Girl Before. I cannot recommend it. It seems interesting. It's not. There's a very disappointing thing that happens, and then I guessed actually two different scenarios, and they both turned out to be right. So, fuck me and a bucket of goo. There's no. So, my wife fell asleep through those, and then she doesn't have to watch them. So that's my version of doing her a favor. So now we go back to. There's some good shit in the queue to watch. I'm telling you that. Oh, back to the surprise bourbon that was supposed to be fake meat. So my surprise pick for fake meat this order was beef balls. Beef balls. Certainly not anything near like bourbon balls. So then I got these things. Got an air fryer. I open these things up. They weren't beef colored at all. It's no big deal. But that's if you're going to be fake meat, it's all about texture, smell. So they're white. So I'm thinking, okay, that's bad. Perhaps they'll brown up when I put them in an air fryer, and they did. So that was good. And I'm air frying these things, and then I finally want to sample one, and I took one of these white beef balls, and so the trick is if you cook them too much, they turn into rubber, and if you don't cook them enough, they remain rubber. But like the film, that's what that film should be about. So I cut a little piece off of this thing, and I bit into it, and I spit it out because it was rubber, and I looked on the inside, and it was all fucking white. It was like a head of fucking cabbage. It was that's not a fucking beef ball. Then call it fucking cabbage balls. Don't sell me fucking cabbage balls and tell me it's fucking beef balls. I can tell you why Mary's not here now, because I'm really calm all day long. And now I'm not. And so she's like, he's something fucking wrong with him. So we're going to have to work on that. I went through that with Sparky too, where I have to calm down and just do this, and then she'd fly on my shoulder. Mary's not going to fly on my shoulder, as far as I can tell. But I think I got her freaked out.
I think she attacked the window too.
Oh, the lovely Mrs. Comic said she believes Mary attacked the window. That means Bearcat's out there. It's already got food, and depending on Mary's alert level, the fucking Bearcat's lucky, because Mary comes and tells me that a fucking feral cat's outside and it's there for supper. And the other night, Bearcat came and Mary flumped into the window. I did nothing. Then Mary walked through here and complained to me. Then she did it a second time, and basically she was saying, look, the fucking feral cat's out there now. I flumped in the window. I did 2 laps. I can't fucking do anymore. That was my cue to get some food out to Bearcat. So now we got beef balls. We got Bearcat. We've got the beard trim. Let's see here. Oh, I'm struggling with subtitles. All the comedians put little clips up, and the subtitles come up, and there's an auto-generating program to watch them, like on YouTube and shit. But when you pull them out of there and put them in another thing like Instagram or Twitter, they don't fucking show up. So I Googled, YouTube how to do that, and they have code pasted and generate. Fuck that code and shit. I want to click on auto subtitles, and then it comes up. So I'm working on that, and you wouldn't think that would be that fucking hard to do. So now we got that. I know I thought I had a lot more fun stuff than this, but apparently I don't. So we're probably just going to sit here and watch me drink. Let me sit with my bourbon bowl and see if the calm can lure Mary back. Let's see, where is she? See, if I turn around and see where she is, my ass will be directly in the view.
She's in the window.
She's in the window, right? All right, so she's in the window. So I'm going to sneak around here. And she has a fat tail. See, when she has a fat tail, that means Bearcat's out there. Okay. Now, I got the treats. Bearcat is a stupid cat that lives outside and it's never coming in. Mary is the smarter cat. She lives indoors and gets treats out of my hand and cheese in a can. She's making a dick out of me. As soon as I wrap this thing up, she'll jump on my lap. That's what's going to happen. So now we're going to do this. Bourbon balls. We should call Crenshaw, I think. I can't even believe I'm saying it, but I think actually now we should call Crenshaw. Only reason I say this is because the trolls in my idea hallway connect dots this way. In the chat, there's Richter. Right below Richter, there's Crenshaw. It seems logical that we would have some sort of Zoom call meeting now. I believe we should, but I'm not going to do it because I said we're going to do it, and that's bad. So now we're going to move along here. I'm hearing the train go by. Now, admittedly, that's not very entertaining as in live stream, but it is for me to just sit in my paisley chair. Oh my God, I got a paisley chair and a paisley jacket. I don't believe I've ever sat in my paisley chair wearing my paisley jacket. This is chance to make live stream history. I didn't want to show you my ass. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this jacket on right here. And I'm going to try to pull something else off here. I'm going to put these on the break screen right there. I'm going to make some sort of attempt to take this fucking filter off here. So now we're going to do this. Let's see. There's a chance that we're going to lose everybody again. All right. Filters. There it is. Grayscale. None. Get ready for Paisley Jacket. Here it comes.
It's like the Wizard of Oz.
How about that, huh? How about fucking that? With all the shit that went wrong here tonight, I took a fucking black and white filter off that never should have been on. I got shitty lighting here, so you can't really see the paisley of my jacket that well, but look at that. That's not a fucking rock star jacket. I don't know what it is. Now, since I'm out of really humorous stories to tell, I'm going to take my jacket off and put the black and white filter back on. This is going to be live stream history made here tonight. That's actually kind of fucking stupid. So, are there any questions? Again, thank you so much for, I guess, basically not really having fucking anything to do tonight. This is the best way to say it. Because if you had something to do, no power or persuasion would sit here and put up with this bullshit. The Crenshaw's got me thinking about rock concerts. Oh boy. Now wait. I'm going to take my paisley jacket off for this because I'm too worked up. I wonder if I could put that filter back on. click on that. Filters. Ha ha! Black and white. Take this fucker off. All right. Now, rock concert stories here. So, back in the olden days, before scalping was a thing, the ticket masters were in record stores. And it would be known through mostly newspaper or radio gossip that, say, Iggy Pop tickets for the Tower would be going on sale tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Then you would line up at that record store, and then you would fucking go in there, and that's what you would do. And the tickets were basically like $20 a pop. And we never bought any concert shirts, which I wish I would have bought, but those were like $20 a whack. Would they be worth a metric fuck ton of money today? But the concept of buying a t-shirt that was the same price as the actual concert ticket was the dumbest fucking thing that anybody's ever thought of. That's not really what that story was going to be about. But apparently my 2 sips of bourbon has gone to my head, and I totally lost that fucking story. Oh, okay. In the interest of greed, bands started to tour together that didn't normally have the same audience, which is a dick move if you're going to see the one band. So to give you the example here, Yes, hippie band. They must have smoked a lot of dope because their lyrics don't make any sense at all. I mean, smoke dope and you hear them, you don't really give a fuck. Time is time, and your time and his friend is captured for the king to use. What the fuck are they talking about? We didn't even give a fuck. We just heard it. So, Yes was in Philly at JFK Stadium, I believe. A place that could hold like 80,000 fucking people. General admission, and people would line up all fucking day long and fucking Woodstock party it outside that fucking stadium, and there'd be a mad dash, and once you're outside that stadium, you'd have no concept of what's on the other side of the fucking door. You could look at whatever you think you know, but we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have fucking Google Maps, we didn't have floor plans. You had to just kind of figure out where your best shot was at getting through them fucking gates and into the thing. On the show, Yes was headlining, sort of co-headlining was Peter Frampton. I don't like him. Boring, bubblegum rock. Get the fuck off my Yes show. Philadelphia Mummers Parade Band opened for Peter Frampton and Yes, which I loved a fucking hell of a lot more than Peter Frampton, especially when you're smoking. Everybody smoked dope every fucking where, all the time. It was fantastic. It was the hippie days. So the police had to try to pretend like they were going to arrest 80,000 hippies smoking dope at the doors outside of JFK Stadium all day long. And so when we got in, you totally lost all your people that you were with, and you had to reconvene in there somewhere. So I was up against the wall. The cops were frisking everybody, or people that looked like me. And I had to my right hippies I didn't know, and I had to my left hippies I don't know. Now, both of them were a complete nervous wrecks because they must have been holding. I had actually nothing on me to worry about. And so the cops were coming down the line, and then this guy to my left is really fucking sweating bullets. And then he's just like telling me, like, be cool and all that shit. And while the cop is frisking him, I turned to him and I said, hey, buddy, I hope they don't check our socks. And he said, shut the fuck up. The cop went right to my ankles, and I didn't have any socks on. And the Philly cop, had his hands around both my unsocked ankles, looking for marijuana that wasn't in my sock. because my sock wasn't there. Why he didn't beat the fuck out of me with his happy stick, I don't know. Again, that's keeping with my stories that don't really have a point or an end to them. So thanks for that, Crenshaw. Special hippie memory there. Let's see here. More bourbon. Let's see. Hippie. Yes. Hippie, question mark. Look, I am a hippie. I absolutely am a hippie. We are hippies. No fucking two ways about that. So yeah, we're rocking a hippie lifestyle here. And Crenshaw pretends to be a hippie, but he's more of a Viking than he is a hippie. Just to be clear here, but he could pass for hippie. So, wow. Now I'm officially out of shit. So I think what we're going to do is just sit here and watch me drink this bourbon. Can anybody remember any questions that anybody asked in the live stream that went wrong? That was in the chat and it just fucking went by the wayside. Rick, you're coming in with the super chat. That's amazing. Thank you so much. There must be more fun things in my show that I was going to tell you, Peckeritz, but I forgot right now. So, the show that I just did, the Bring Back Theaters tour, I'm very excited about it for a whole bunch of reasons. So, community theater people know how to run shows. Even if the show's bad, they know how to actually, the production of the show. So that's less for me to have to worry about, right? So something happened though that I didn't plan on at the first Bring Back Theaters tour show. The theater geek world came to the show and my normal fans came to the show. I knew this was two different audiences, so I took a survey to see where's my theater people supporting community theater, and then they cheered and they clapped and all that shit. And then where's the people who are my fans and they came here and they go, what the fuck are we doing here with all these weird fucking theater people? That got a big laugh because theater people, we are fucking nuts. We are definitely nuts. So I wasn't expecting those two audiences to mash up like that. But that's not the first time that's ever happened. Throughout my entire career, I have a good mix of different. Oh, there's another super chat coming in here. Thank you, $2.90. That all adds up. See, if more people thought, if I kick in fucking $2.99, I could have bought a fucking third windshield if I would have had to. See, the small donations land on the bigger pile. That's the point. That is absolutely amazing. So, my audiences have always been a cross of younger people right on through to older people, and the incredible mix. Back in the early 90s when my career started to zoom, the bikers loved me. In fact, someone at the Theater Geek show brought pictures of a biker rally, RMC 100th anniversary fucking show. The bikers, it's only an Oli RMC annual thing. The bikers own a big hunk of gorgeous property in the middle of the town, and they run this fucking biker festival once a year, all weekend long. They make a metric fuck ton of money. And I was booked to perform at one of those. So the punchline there was I was never so afraid in my life to go to anything as I was that biker rally and entertain, and I was supposed to do a lot of schmoozing and walking around and meet and greets and all that stuff. I was in complete fucking terror. The bikers loved me. I never felt more safe in my entire life than I did at that fucking biker rally. And I had a friend who begged to come along as my bodyguard. He didn't give a fuck about keeping me safe. He wanted to go to this fucking thing. So I let him come along, and then we mocked him because the actual event assigned to me 6 fucking biker bodyguards. The smallest of would have been as large as my Viking friend Crenshaw. And they were fucking badass. And we had a little meeting beforehand, so I had a rhythm of how not to get in trouble. because they had all these fucking Hell's Angels were there. Every fucking gang that wants to kill each other comes together. And in this meeting with all these bikers and the guy running it, and I said, let me ask you a question. How can you run a thing like this in this town and not have the townspeople shut it down? And the guy goes, well, with thousands of people here, it's like $50 for the weekend. We kick like $50,000 back to the town. We gift it to them. And there's no fucking trouble here. None. Zero. We can't afford it. There's no fighting. There's no drunken nothing, because even bikers don't want to fight with other bikers. Bikers who want to fight with nitwits who can't fight back. I learned so much about the fucking bikers. It was so much fun. I was walking around this thing, tents everywhere. They're having just, if you ever go to one of those things and a biker comes up to you and says, you have to try Mammy's rat bastard fruit salad, don't do it. Even if they get hurt feelings. Because I took something that I think was like a piece of watermelon, and I stood for like 3 days. I thought I was a windmill. Don't do that. There was fucking weird shit going on. But someone came to the show and they actually had pictures from there with me sitting on a motorcycle doing this. And it wasn't in a phone. They were actual fucking photographs. And they didn't bring them for me. They just brought them for me to see, which was really fucking weird if you think about it. Old bikers come to see an Amish guy to show them photographs. Can't have a picture taken. Mind melted. So that was really fucking nuts. But the biker thing was so much fun. And it was, to give you a time frame here, is that the Amish just got arrested for selling cocaine with the Hells Angels. It was in the headlines. It was all over. And I actually spent 38 minutes writing Amish biker cocaine comedy, which I absolutely did. I had all this stuff ready. And at the meeting, before they let me out in the public, they said, okay, one thing is you can't say anything about the Amish and the cocaine problem and the Hells Angels. I'm like, that won't be any problem at all. But I fucking wrote it. Fucking 38 minutes of comedy I could never fucking use. And then more to that point, I was told not to say Hells Angels. And it's just a thing. You don't fucking say it. And so they took me around, and I had my bodyguards and the Hells Angels. The bikers fucking love me. So the Hells Angels were coming at me and my small now group of bodyguards, and somehow they knew this, and my bodyguards kind of stepped back a little bit, and the Hells Angel guys come up to me and they tried to scare me, and they really did. It doesn't take much. Just after what I was told not to say Hells Angels, I didn't even want to say hello to them. So then one of them come up to me and he's doing this on my chest, and he goes, we don't like, oh, that's what he said. We don't like the way you Amish asshole brethren are fucking up the drug selling business. They're making a fucking bad name for us. And I'm like, how is this my fault? I got one chance to get this right. And I said, well, that may be very well, but can I ask you a question? I was told not to say Hell's Angels. And then I had just said it, and I thought if they were going to kill me, it was going to be then. But I had their interest, and they're like, that is correct. I said, but it says Hell's Angels on your jacket. So if a dumbass like me comes up and just accidentally reads your jacket by the rules by which we're not to say Hell's Angels, I would get fucking killed just for reading a thing that's on your jacket. If we're not supposed to say it, why is it on your jacket? Is that like a trick so you can kill people just for fun? And they fucking laughed. They had not seen the irony of this moment here. So I think they kept the logos on there. So that was a fun thing. They took me around to the pit, which was a Fred Flintstone bed of logs in a pit, and they'd take a motorcycle in there, and then they'd run the back fucking tire, and it would spin, and the logs, 2 logs would fucking spin. Somehow the logs would spin, and the rubber would burn off the tire, and a big fucking cloud of smoke went up, and then everybody would fucking cheer, and I had a live microphone, and I was trying to decode this event. I don't really understand the point of this, because it seems like even if you win, you have to go buy another fucking tire for your motorcycle. And again, they seem like they hadn't thought about that until that fucking moment in time. And so that was some good fun there. And then they took me up in the booth where we could watch the races, regular races, and they were all smoking dope up there. And they handed me a live microphone and a live joint. And they said, with the microphone on, they said, don't tell anyone that we're smoking marijuana up here. And I said, and by this time, and he said it, he must have had the microphone like this. By this time, he handed me the microphone. I'm holding this and a joint in my hand. I said, you would never hear me tell anyone that I had a marijuana cigarette up here in the tower. And it fucking beamed through the whole thing. Now, the fun of that weekend continues. First of all, I'm in their 100th anniversary catalog yearbook for this event. So I was, and really, it sounds like a dream job, but it really isn't. When you're working and there's anything remotely sexy or sexual, it's just not even a thing. Like when Crenshaw knows this, when he's making movies and it's a scene, it's a lot of fucking tension and all this and that shit. My gig, I was actually paid $1,500 to mostly host a biker wet t-shirt contest, which I was told prior to that t-shirts were just a thing they put in the sentence to make it seem like it wasn't a slutty biker event that was going to happen. So prior to that, they wanted 10 to 15 minutes of my comedy. So now, bear in mind, I'm me looking like I look, and out there is 2,000 partying bikers waiting to see naked biker chicks. But first, Amish Comic's gonna come out and tell us a few horse and buggy jokes. What's it take to make an Amish woman happy? Just 2 Mennonite. Zing! When the buggy breaks down to use 4-way flashers, yeah, we light the candle, then we blow it out, we light the candle, then we blow it. They fucking glared at me. And the trolls in the idea hallway were going, okay, this is not what they came to see. So then, the beauty pageant was actually standing behind me, all fucking lined up, ready to rip. So I just grabbed the microphone from myself and took a step back, and I said, okay, obviously you don't want to hear me. Let's talk to some of our contestants. And I walked down the line, and I probably the very first one that I bumped into, and know this, those were all some biker's girlfriend. That makes them all fucking gorgeous at that moment in time. Because if you mock the woman and her fucking Hell's Angels, that I was fucking smart enough to know that. So I talked to the first one. I said, listen, you have a very good chance of winning this thing, but not with your shirt on. And the 10 of them all ripped their tops off and were full Monty in a second. And the bikers were going, Raymond is God! So that's a true story. I'm in the yearbook. That scared the fuck out of Mary. That's all I got, unless somebody here is going to goad me into something else. But hell, I'll just sit and wait. When I offer this as a replay, I should monetize it, because then commercials will be in it, because it's already really fucking long and nothing's happening. And then if people have to sit through commercials yet, that would be a real dick move on my part. So Are there any questions in the chat, or are we just waiting for me to wrap this thing up? This bourbon is really fucking good. Let's see here. All right, it seems like mostly everybody wants to talk to my wife. So if she's in the chat, it seems like I'm far more popular than if she's not in the chat, and I'm okay with that. Eventually, I will get Mrs. Comic on this where you can see her, but it's not going to be cheap. It's going to be, we're going to have fucking world record donations, and maybe I'll make that like a Patreon thing where if we get so many subscribers, we'll get Mrs. Comic on here and she'll tell you what it's really like to be and that's when I take, this woman deserves all kinds of humanitarian awards. We have a really happy, fun life together. We fucking love each other. We really have a lot of fun together. We even have little conditions, like if we go nuts, like with the driving and the parking, and if I accidentally screamed mean to you, I apologize. It's just I didn't really want to get stabbed in a scary hotel district. That's how we roll. So when, years gone by, when I'm pissing moan about in the early days of my show, I had a fictitious wife named Edna, and I had a really bad joke about Edna, my honey, said, do I look fat in this dress? And I said, yeah, you look fat in all your dresses. And then that was a mighty long winter. Now she looks hot even in a burlap bag. It's all fucking made up. She knows her name isn't Edna, but then when she came out in public, people, my fans, would fucking turn on me and come up to my beautiful wife and they go, you should hear what he says about you in the show. Well, that's not Edna, for crying out loud. So they always feel sorry for her. I don't, Crenshaw, you would know better than I why anybody would feel sorry for someone who was married to me. We have fun. I'm silly and immature. I don't know, but they take apology after apology after apology. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, or they flip the other thing. Like, it must be a lot of fun to be married to a comedian. No, it isn't. Look it, I have no fucking job. I'm streaming on a Paisley chair, fucking begging for fucking $2.99 tips. This is not part of the fun that she signed up for. And also, when I'm actually seriously writing comedy, I'll show you fucking exactly how I look. 99% of all the comedy I write, my beautiful wife looks over there, see what I'm doing, she will see this. Then if she has something important to tell me, I'll go, wait, I don't want to lose this. If I lose it, it'll be gone. There, got it. Now what? That's, fuck me in a bucket of goo. So everybody feels sorry. I really don't know what they think happens here. I really don't know what they think happens. Yeah, I guess if you hate your spouse and the me is home all week, then that would suck batshit ball for you. But we really have a lot of fun. And it's, while we're talking about Mrs. Comic here, that's a thing people ask for when I'm out. Oh, did you bring your wife? No. And then I don't explain to them why. I would never take my wife to a venue that I was unsure of, aka fire holes, where beer's included on the ticket, and a lot of times the audience doesn't even know that I was part of the show. And I'll be performing, and my poor wife will be stuck with these drunks having to answer questions and all that shit. So she will come along to theater shows or shows if we are staying someplace especially nice for the hotel room or for the fun. But I don't just fucking bring her along. And they love her. They just fucking love her. There's a big killer bouncer in Harrisburg that I fucking love. And he loves my wife, and what's not to love. And when I don't come, when she doesn't come to the show, he's really disappointed. He said, where's Big Mama, he calls her. I fucking hate that, but he's a big fucking killer. I said, I don't call my wife Big Mama. He says, where's Big Mama? Says, well, she's home chilling tonight with the cat or the cockatiel. And she said, well, you tell her that she's got to get out here and have fun. And then she expect to see her Saturday night because this happened Friday night, and she still didn't fucking come because it's as much fun as it seems. It's not that much fun to sit in the back of the room by yourself with the knowledge that you are Mrs. Comic and I'm up there and there's no one to protect you. There's no real fucking glamour to that at all. In fact, this takes me back to Lancaster weekends, full shows, one Friday, two Saturday, one Sunday, young comedians making the mistake of bringing their girlfriends to the show Friday night, and they're sitting there, and then Saturday night, let's see, girlfriend's not going to see the show tonight? She said, no, she was a little disappointed. Why? Well, she was here last night. You were funny, man. You were hilarious. What, did you material that upset her or whatever? No, it's just that she was at my show last weekend and she said that I did the same jokes. What the fuck? Am I going to write a 45-minute new set for every show that my girlfriend's at? What the fuck? That's fucked up. So, I don't know. I don't know how she does it. But we do have fun. We just have a very unstable income. That's a fucking shitty thing to sign up for. So we got that. Now let's see here. Let's see. Amy G says something like best thing Mrs. ever made. Oh, the best thing she ever made me. A nicer person. That's true. Because my instincts are to attack and mock. Like with the theater show in Fleetwood, someone posted, when are you coming to Altoona? I'm like, who gives a flying fuck? I don't have fucking secret shows in fucking Altoona. Click on fucking events, you motherfucker. Click on events. Click on events if you see Al fucking Tuna. That's when I'm coming to Al fucking Tuna. And my wife has me thinking, that person is a fan. And they're anxious for you to come to the town where they live. Oh. So there's that. Food-wise, chocolate cake, that was my mother's recipe that was never written down, to be done from memory, and there's coffee in it. That's the best thing she's made me of, like, maybe fucking 20 things. But also, she got me vegetarian because she knows what I will try and what I won't try, and what she never would force me to eat would be beef balls that were white, that were fucking cabbage on the inside. So that's amazing. Cashew butter on a date. That's amazing, even though it looks like a glump of light shit on top of a glump of darker shit. That's amazing. French toast. What?
Creme de menthe brownies.
Creme de menthe brownies. They're fantastic. French toast is a fucking slam dunk. I can smell it cooking. It's fantastic. So there's that. A lot of stuff now. And again, the kind of relationship we have is that I know some people, when this would end, they'd have a wife over there going, but I noticed you didn't say anything about the cherry pie I make for you. Well, I forgot shit. See, I don't have to put up with any of that fucking shit. So the nicest, the best thing she's ever made for me was she's made me a nicer person, and French toast, and I don't know, good shit. Moroccan stew. That's fucking great. So my wife makes a stew that seems like it has meat in it, but it doesn't. That's fucking badass. I'll be thinking about that for a while now. So let's see what else is going on here. See that? When I go to edit this and pull the audio out, those clicks will trip up like that. I'm out of shit, so unless you peckerheads, I mean it in a nice way, can get me worked up. This is usually where Richter comes in with the something. Richter also, shout out to Richter. Richter is so fantastic of a fan of my show that I believe he needs help. Because he sent me a video of him driving and having a video of my live stream in his phone where his Waze should be. So I wouldn't want to listen to me while I'm driving. And then I missed something in that, and he sent a still from it, and he said, you notice there's a cop, like right in front of him. So he's living life in the fast lane. That's a dedicated fan, not quite as crazy of a story as, I hope the cops don't check my socks for marijuana, but still pretty fucking good. So there's a shout out there. I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm peeking in here. Let's see. Call both. Oh, I know something that I wanted to share with you. And again, Crenshaw, it's not Broadway. It's theater. At the theater town hall, which I can't ever remember saying it because that's a fucking stupid name for a theater, town hall. But at the benefit show, Philip Glass, Laurie Anderson, Steve Wright, Meredith Monk, all this shit was up there. There was a crazy lady whose name I can't remember. And you can put this in the YouTube search. Silent meditation. The most fucking brilliant thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so fucking jealous because she came out on stage and she gave us instructions. She said, silent meditation is, I will be here on stage in silent meditation. So in theory, people paid money, and she wasn't the only one on the show, but people paid money for her to go on stage and say what I'm going to tell you, but she'd be up there for like 9 minutes going, and when she'd finish, she got a fucking standing ovation. And the jealousy that raged in me as a performer of live entertainment, I actually stole her idea because what she had people doing was she instructed us to sing a syllable. Oh no, we were supposed to sing a vowel. That was it. A, E, I, O, U, whatever it was. Pick one. Sing it in your natural singing voice. Hold it as long as you can. And when you're done, when you can't breathe anymore, take a deep breath and echo something that you heard. Somebody else's vowel in a different register than your own. If you're a baritone, then just try to go and pick a high one and vice versa. And so to get a room with 1,500 people in it, and it's a oh, and then oh, and then that would get going. And this was like a fucking 2 or 3 minutes into it. This was like a thing from X-Files where it felt like the theater was gonna fucking lift off the floor. Absolutely fucking incredible. It was euphoric, this fucking thing. So I jacked that idea and had my audience sing the exact same thing, but they couldn't pick a vowel. They had to sing the word fuck and then change the register. So I took a room with 400 or 500 people in it and I'd be fuck, and then fuck. But I also instructed them to have fun with it, and if they were feeling a solo, knock themselves out like fuck, 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 whatever, fuck. And I have some of those recorded, and they're actually quite magical. And so I started filming some of those, and I'm going to throw some of those back on YouTube. I'm going to throw some of those on Patreon for my Unshun, because the fun thing is that as I filmed them, and I started going to the audience, and people would get fucking solos, and they just fucking go nuts. And some people absolutely refused, and so that looked awkward in the videotape. So I started to instruct people, if you didn't want to be filmed or you didn't feel like singing, turn your head. And then they did it. Then I mocked them because, like, when they see the video, they'll go, look at that fucking asshole who didn't want to sing the F-bomb. Walk! And they just turn their head. They'll still know it's you. So you might as well fucking do it. So the F-bomb choir, I think that's what that was. Those will come back. That's a stolen idea from Broadway. If you can find that on YouTube, I believe it's Silent Meditation. If I can find it, I'll drop it. It's going to lose something because when it's in the theater, that's powerful shit right there. So, let's see here. I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't really have any way to wrap this up. I'll have one last whack at getting the cat over here. Yoo-hoo! You know what? You know what the fucking kick in the balls is? I'll tell you what the kick in the balls is. Is that if I got food for myself, that fucking cat would be up here in a second. That would be it. But it's this. See, it is exactly this. It is because it is cat food. She doesn't fucking want to eat cat food. So, anyway, Mary's not going to play. Thank you for coming to the... Oh, that's pretty cool because this thing autofocus the way to this. Now it didn't fucking do it. I was going to be blurry. Even that didn't fucking work. So I'm going to wrap things up. I don't have anything that exciting to tell you here. I will check my notebook for any last things here. Fucking marathon stream, but you can't count the first two. Let's see. No, I got nothing. This is the, in keeping with my, you know what I said? Fuck me in a bucket of goo. When I'm actually not prepared, and I come out and I say that I'm not prepared, it's usually a really fucking good show. Those ones when I come in and I'm not really prepared are, by your own judgment, the best live streams that I do. I prepared for this one. I got notes, I had stories ready, I set this fucking setup here so the cat could come across here, I moved shit around, I get my complimentary Bergen. That's the name of the town in fucking Scary Hotel District, North Bergen. Ha ha! Boom, roasted. So I had all this stuff ready, and all this shit went wrong. Because I bragged that I'm prepared, and this should be a pretty good fucking stream. I fucking doomed it myself. I didn't think I'd doom it to the point where it said, hell, 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 hell. I don't know what the fuck that was about. My wife was saying hell, 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 and Crenshaw's in the chat going fucking hell, 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 and they're going, I'm frozen, and I wasn't fucking frozen in Streamlabs. I didn't know what the fuck were talking about. Everything was fine over here, and then, so I kind of doomed it myself. Are there any questions or comments? Well, then I will say thank you. If you can trick anyone to subscribing to my Patreon, that would be fantastic. I will be streaming probably every fucking Saturday night in April because I don't have any work. I do have a show at the end of April. Not sure where it is. I think it's Nazareth area. Oh, it's Comedy for Cats. Huh? It is a fundraiser for cats. So I'll have to tag that onto my Bring Theaters Back to or Save Cat Stores. That's somewhere. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to get really fucked up on good bourbon tonight. Thank you. South rises up, don't they? They rise up to bring their bourbon to me here in Pennsylvania. So
if anybody's looking for a kitten, Hank's sister is up for adoption.
All right, good. My wife chiming in here. Our daughter, who's the most amazing fucking rescue cat, Hank, the Elvis Presley of cats. Sister, Henrietta, has been trapped and is ready to find a new home. If you want to go and adopt a kitten, that's Hank's sister Henrietta. It would be Quakertown area, but I think, hell, you fucking drive from Ohio to pick up Henrietta. Let us know. But they're on Instagram. They're looking for a home. Wife, forget about it. It's not gonna happen. Nope. She tried to trick me. She said, "Look how cute." Fuck that happy horse shit. So Henrietta's not coming in here. But that's pretty much it. I get nothing. I really have no way to end this thing, except if I could drink more bourbon. Let's see here. I'm going through my notes. Wrap this shit up. Let's see. See, I have in my notebook, there's shit in here that doesn't fucking even make any sense to me. For fuck's sake. I see. Oh, I know what I was thinking of doing. It's not ready, but I'm thinking of doing one-man performances of episodes of The Twilight Zone. It's in the workshop. I'm behind on my book writing. I'm working on that. Getting back to business. Oh, I know what I want to tell you all about. And then I'm absolutely going to wrap things up. The Sparks date with my beautiful wife was full circle. If you can believe a couple could have a romantic date to go see Sparks, it was so fucking perfect. It was so wonderful. We haven't done anything for a very long time, so that was absolutely fantastic. And that's not the story that I wanted to tell you. That was set up for a story that I fucking just lost because I just got swept away by how awesome that was. Well, the punchline there is when we go back to see Sparks ever again, all their songs are silly. We will just cry from like emotion when they're like, then their songs are like, balls, all you got is balls. And then we'll be fucking crying because it'll be an emotional thing. That wasn't what that story was about. And if you have any place to go, go ahead, because I'm going to sit here and try to figure out why I was telling that story, because it had something to do with something else. I just can't remember it. What's going to happen is I'll remember it, and I'll shut this fucking thing down, and then we'll have to go. And it shouldn't be that big of a problem, because I've established a rhythm here of shutting one stream down and starting up another one. It's no problem for me, apparently, tonight until I announce that I'm going to do it. What the fuck was I going to tell about? I don't know. Nothing. I got nothing. I've got nothing. So I am going to say good night. I'm going to do this. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for finding all the different various streams this evening. Stream ending. I love yous. Send me some money if you can. And if you can't, well, I'll just have to learn to live with that. That's all that is. Let's see. Hang on. Where is the... That's my unshunned tears popping up. That's not that. This was the surprise thing. I didn't have time.
Loves
for
a
that.
joke. America's top comedy couples dish. January
Stream
16th.
is ending. There's that. And I love you. Thanks for tuning in. I'd like to say that I'm sorry about what happened tonight, but you peckerheads, I mean that in a nice way.